maybe. Okay, all righty. All right, so we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilman Clark, and invocation by Councilman East. If you would stand,
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'd like to join us for the prayer, please bow your head at this time. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your continued grace and mercy this evening and ask that you would guide us in all matters. Please grant us wisdom, and may all we do be pleasing to you. In your name we pray. Amen.
I'd like to welcome the guests and visitors, the ones that are here and the ones that are online. Thank you for being here. All right, modification to public session.
We have two modifications tonight. I don't know if we can do them in one motion or two. One motion to add Resolution 2024-11, appointing members to the New River Valley Agency on Aging. Need a second for that.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. You meant two items. One motion's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Two items. One, Resolution 2024-11, appointing members to the New River Valley Agency on Aging, and another Resolution 2024-12, appointing Rachel Nelson to the Town of Pulaski Planning Commission. They will go after Resolution 2024-10 on the agenda.
And may I have a roll call for that, please, ma'am?
Mr. East?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Mr. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Ratliff?
Aye.
Mr. Reese?
Aye.
Okay, so next on the agenda is presentations. They will be 15 minutes. First one is Native Trees Grant Project, Nate Repass, and Kathy Hanks, please.
Right. Good evening. So I'm here to report on some great news out of the creek here. So the New River Conservancy, at the call of Friends of Peak Creek to come into the town here, has applied for and secured funding for native tree plantings in the disadvantaged federal census district you see on this map here. And to zoom in on that, that covers the south side of Pulaski in that grayed out area, which is Case Knife Road, the train tracks, and then Peak Creek and down. So they have secured a significant amount of funding there in order for us to plant native trees in some of our parks in those locations. And some of those project areas include, so far they have secured the funding in a general format. They're going to come back in. Tom Saxton of the New River Conservancy is the grant writer in this case, and he's going to come back into town in March to revisit these sites and work out the specific plan for plantings. But some of the sites we've identified for potential plantings include the train station in Kiwanis Park with shade trees in the park, riparian natives near the creek, and potentially flowering dogwoods along the road there on Dora Highway. Kind of spruce up that area a little bit. Valley Park with riparian natives near the creek on the south side there. Heritage Park for shade trees in the park. Cool Springs for shade trees near our new splash pad location. The bike park will have possible reculturing of some of that existing stand of wood. So this grant also covers removing non-native trees and replacing them. So as you're looking at the bike park with the parking lot in front of you, currently there's some fairly cluttered and unhealthy forest off to the right there on that property. So this grant may cover removing some of the unhealthy parts of that forest and replanting that with some native cultures. We're also looking into some potential shade trees or conversation pieces along the trails there. And then of course riparian natives along the creek bank next to the Dora Trail to kind of help stabilize that creek bank area provide some shade along various parts of the track, and then also keep some of that erosion. Right now, when it rains, the bottom part of the park has a swale that collects water, and so planting trees around that will kind of give a place for that water to be absorbed into growth there. Some other possible areas include roadside areas, so coming into town off Draper Mountain to the left there at the welcome sign. There's some grassy areas there that we've identified for possible individual plantings of some flowering native trees. Some other areas coming into town near the bike park, you've got the welcome sign on the left, and just before the bridge, there's also an erosion area there that may be kind of a ripe area for some native tree plantings there. And then, of course, this disadvantaged district does fall into the county as well, so the county will have some projects over this identified later on in the grant process. In addition, Tom has also applied and secured funding for a separate grant that will cover the north side of the town, but it only covers riparian restoration and not urban forestry for visual appeal. So really the only town area there that's potentially an option for us is Spruil's Run, which is that area along Lee Highway, in between Lee Highway and Old Lee Highway there. Right now there's a creek running through there. It is near some power lines, so we will have to moderate that and use potentially small trees or some native shrubs that are covered there to kind of help stabilize that creek bank. Some other projects include the Calfee Cultural Community and Cultural Center. And Tom's also reached out to T.G. Howard as they're along the creek coming into town on the north side for use of that grant there. But Friends of Peak Creek really pushed for this with a lot of the parks going along the creek there. They reached out. Tom came into town before Christmas this year to kind of look at some of these sites initially, said that a lot of them were fantastic options for this, and then applied for these grants with our support earlier this month. And we got those, I believe, February 2nd or 3rd, and then February 5th, we provided some more information there. So fairly recent on this. Currently, there are also non-funding match grants. So the south side, because it's for a disadvantaged census tract, the grants will pay for all of the project funding, so we don't have to match any funding on that grant there. So hopefully we'll have some beautiful new trees in some various parks. We're still identifying areas so that hopefully we can have some riparian areas. Some of this may be thicker plantings, and some of it may just be individual flowering trees to provide some beautification on that side of town. All right,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kathy's here as the president of the board of Friends of Peak Creek and part of the New River Conservancy, having worked on this grant with us.
And Kathy, I would like to personally say thank you for what you and your organization have been doing for years. So we appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, next we have asset management and work order software, Austin Painter.
Good evening. We want to give a little update on an operations and software initiative that we've been having to implement town-wide. To start out, I just wanted to define what exactly, if I can move the cursor, what exactly an asset is. So when we deal with an asset management software, for this example, we're using through a company called Brightly, and the software itself is called Asset Essentials. When we are dealing with it, these are the main different categories that the software would be able to provide. Asset management, work orders, preventative maintenance, GIS integration, and reporting and analytics. We're going to get into those details throughout the presentation. So what is an asset? An asset, a tangible asset, is essentially a physical and measurable object that is used in town's operations, such as property and equipment. It's something that the town owns that provides valuable contribution to the town, whether it be an equipment that's being able to be used on a different project, or a physical property, meaning land property, vehicle property, pump property, whatever it is the physical item may be. something that the town owns. Those are all classified as assets. Throughout this, and how we currently keep track of assets is an Excel doc or paper or word of mouth. And we wanted something to bring in and be able to track and inventory what we have on the shelf or what we have that we're maintaining. So the first category of the software is it is able to manage inventory, and track what it is that we own, what it is that we're able to use, and the condition, and how we can use it. It's able to manage part orders so that we can keep track. If you keep track of what's on the shelf, it's a lot easier to know what you need to still order or what you're missing, because you can't know what you need to order if you don't know what you have. So this is a way to keep track of that in a laid out way that is easy and data friendly. Furthermore, the software itself will also automatically generate work orders anytime, for example, say a project pops up that you have to use a specific part. Well, you can do that, and then it'll track that that part is no longer in our inventory. So it'll give you a little notification that says, hey, you should probably go order that part, put it back on the shelf. So that's asset management. That is the main crucial part of, or half of the crucial part of the software. The second are work orders. If I had to define what Asset Solutions or Asset Essentials is, it is first and foremost an asset management software, and second, a work order software, because they go hand in hand. The best way to track work orders is to link them to either assets or locations. For example, if we are given the work order to go do a water main break that is based on a location and assets, you need the location of where the water main break is and the asset of whatever equipment that you're using to fix it. These are the things that in our current system, we do it all by paper and by word of mouth. But through this software, we're able to track it and look at our old work orders and view what still needs to be done. Furthermore, it also includes a desktop and a mobile app. So every one of our superintendents, whether it be on public works, filter plant, our pump station management, will be able to view the work orders that they have on their phone and get notifications if they're sent in by a supervisor or some other staff. It outlines what exactly they need to do to perform the task of their work order in a way that is not only friendly for in the moment of completing the task, but also after the fact. When you're looking through the past work orders of the year, you're able to see the past work that's been done on whatever it is they're working on. For example, if you have 6 work orders out of the year that work on a specific pump in one of our pump stations, this will automatically you can generate all the work that has been done to that pump throughout the year. There's 2 heads of the same coin. You have asset management and you have work orders. Work orders manipulate assets. Types of work orders, types of things that you would see being shifted or sent off on work orders is you have reactive maintenance and preventative maintenance. One of the main reasons why we were initially wanting to find some asset management software, some work order software, is to move from reactive to preventative maintenance, to have more preventative maintenance. Reactive maintenance is responding to known issues, found out issues, or emergencies that are within the town, while preventative maintenance are scheduled work to prevent those issues from occurring in the first place, or at least knowing that they are about to occur, so you can prepare. An example would be the difference between repairing a water line break and replacing a line that you know is about to fail. That's the difference. Ultimately, studies have shown that in an emergency situation or reacting to an issue, you spend a lot more money, you use a lot more parts in a way that when compared to preventative maintenance, you can plan for it, it's a lot more cost effective, and you can keep track of what you have on shelf. One of the other crucial parts of the software is exactly that, the setting up of preventative maintenance. The goal of the software is you can over time, move more of what you do from reactive to proactive. And preventive maintenance, PM scheduling, helps with that. You're able to set up each supervisor, each department head, each whoever is responsible for maintaining the preventative maintenance of whatever site location that they're responsible for, sets up these schedules to conduct the work in a routine manner that is able to keep track and inspect or to maintain different equipment and assets throughout the town. Once created, they will automatically notify whatever the designated party is of a work order. For example, if you set up a PM schedule to go check to mow Jefferson Park once a month during the summer, then they'll go check that. They'll say, yes, it needs mowed, and it'll automatically give them a notification that they need to go mow that. So that's one example of a preventative maintenance schedule. Another key aspect of the software is the GIS integration. It's a whole separate thing that we have discussed with you of wanting to move our utility data into an accurate GIS model that we're able to use across town. And this will assist in that. The hope is, as it begins to be developed and used and integrated, that we will have an overlay of our entire town, the utilities within that town, and other important assets laid out in a visual manner, in a physical manner, throughout the town. So all that it would take is, for example, to identify or to send a work order to another staff member would be simply opening up the map and placing a drop pin of where that is and saying water break. And then it'll automatically go to our water and sewer superintendent, and they'll get a notification, hey, we have a water main break at this location. It'll even go as far as giving them directions. Not that any of our staff members need that on Public Works, but the amount of integration between the work orders and visually mapping it is something that is greatly missing on any other paper asset management or even Excel, and that is unique to the software. Another thing that is ultimately, this reporting and analytics is one of the end goals that we like to see in administration. It is after a year of using the software, these are the outcomes. The hope or the things that have been proved with continual use is by the end of it, we will hopefully have budget recommendations that the software will spit out. It'll spit out, okay, here are the most critical assets that you have in the town. And this is what you need to focus for the next 5 years of replacing. It'll spit out those CIP projections of where it is that we need to spend money and how and when. It'll also predict future issues. If each asset is linked to a lifespan that it is conducted, once you map all the assets, what that creates is essentially a timeline of when each asset within the town needs to be replaced, whether it be blades on a mower. It'll send you a notification, hey, you should probably go check those blades on the mower. They probably need replaced. Or whether it be a pump station that entirety needs looked at. It'll automatically send that out, and we'll see that reporting at the end of the year. Implementation, if we talk practically, we have begun implementation, and we have fully implemented phase 1, which we have separated phase 1 being the work orders and phase 2 being the in-depth asset management. We have fully implemented phase 1 at the pump station management department, which would be over our sewer pump stations, 4A, 4B, Kreiser, and also our water pump stations. They are currently running off of the work orders using Brightly. They get notifications every day of preventative maintenance that they can go and perform, inspections that they can perform that they were already performing. But instead of jotting it down in a journal and giving it to engineering once a month, we get live updates on the day of the flows that are coming out of the pump stations, the conditions of the pumps, and conditions of each of the parts that they inspect. Not to mention that we can get an overtime graph of what they are performing and the conditions of those assets. So we are working right now to finish phase 2, which would be the in-depth asset management. We have all the assets listed. We are gathering information of timelines of their condition and what condition they're in. So hopefully that phase 2 is to come. Furthermore, in parallel to the pump station management, we're looking ahead and implementing it. Our next priority would be filter plant and all of Public Works, analyzing and talking to the staff there of what it would take to move over to this asset management software, to this work order software. Whether it be filter plant, they have certain things that they check every day that can go into a PM schedule, or they have reactive maintenance that they do every day, or in response to certain things that we can go ahead and set up and have ready live updates on their phones. So finally, here's just an overview of the overall software. We are very excited to implement this in the town. I think it is a large need. It is something that a lot of grants and money opportunities are now requiring an asset management program for you to track the assets within your town. So this is a proactive, not only for the actual maintenance itself, but this is proactive of how we operationally deal with work here in the town. And we're excited to help with implementing that across all the different departments. Any questions?
Would this software be able to tell us, like, do like cost comparisons? So, like, to take the pump station example, because we've done so much preventative maintenance, like, we're able to see that we're doing less reactive maintenance and be able to categorize that as far as like costs go. So we could say if we wanted to replace that pump station, it'll save us, some portion of our budget in the first, it'll pay it. We know a payback schedule essentially.
The biggest positive of that is you can often see each preventative maintenance will have an associated cost if you input it,
Right.
whether it be a task or sometimes the preventative maintenance. For example, with the Chrysler pump station, we have begun the routine of preventative maintenance to pump out the wet well in that to prevent the need of some large replacement of the wet well. So that you can see that direct comparison of this is the cost to do the clean out of the wet well every once in a while compared to this is the quote to replace it. So that's kind of where that price comparison lies. And over time, the hope is as you continue to use the software gets better and better. The data gets better and better. And you can compare from when you first started using the software, you had 80% reactive maintenance to where you are a year from there that you might have 60% reactive maintenance. And you can see that price comparison, that cost comparison in your budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Does anybody around us have this same software?
Yes.
And who's that? Okay.
Yes.
And what have they said about it? Their recommendations, what? The only one I've talked to is Town of Dublin, and they seem to really like it. Okay.
Once you get, the hard part is getting all your assets input and the data there to start with. Once you have the assets in there, you can determine the lifespan of equipment. Preventive maintenance obviously will extend that. We've heard nothing. I talked to Mr. Kirkner in Dublin, and he seemed to really be impressed by this.
And Austin, you may want to tell the council how long we've been using this software, because this is a fairly recent improvement in the way we're doing business.
We began implementation and construction of the software about a year ago now. It has been, phase 1 has, for pump station management has been fully operational since about mid-fall. And we're starting to see the data come in regards to that department.
So it took roughly 8-9 months to get the pump station's assets entered into the system and functioning.
It's not just pump stations, it's personnel as well.
Yes.
You wind up having to set up each individual employee that should be using the software. You get absolutely no phones. There's an adjustment period to learn. It is easy to use, but there's still an adjustment period.
How many people have admin responsibilities on the mobile app or putting in the assets?
Everything is completely customizable to where we can set that number. As of right now, you're talking, I believe 3 or 4.
Okay. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot. And I will also say that 8 months of implementation, that was also, a large part of that was not necessarily working with the pump station management department, but a majority of that was actually just creating and constructing the whole town hierarchy itself within the software. So the other departments are there and ready to implement because of the work that was done back then. It wouldn't necessarily take 8 months per department.
All right, that's good. I was just trying to gauge the difficulty or of how long I guess it would take to go from where we are to where you want to be.
Yes.
So somebody has to go through and just say every mower, I mean, you could do every shovel literally, and just say, that's because we run that mower 60 hours a week or whatever it is, that it has so many hours until it needs oil change, engine overhaul, or brand new.
Yes. It's a lot of work front end, but once it's up and running, the actual user experience is,
Then you're only entering one item at a time instead of a whole public works building.
Fairly simplified. Here's your work order, change the oil on this mower. You put in, employee clicks on it, clicks finish.
Yep.
It automatically logs back into the system.
And
Whatever day, how many hours on the mower, all that's.
Then it says, well, we're out of oil filters, so you need to order more oil filters.
exactly.
And so we don't buy too many oil filters or the wrong oil filters or something like that. All right, great. Thank you.
And I think, good job, Austin. I appreciate this. Just the data that would be available after, that's what's really kind of exciting, is the data that's available a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. The historical data could be, that's just invaluable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. All right. Moving on, we have Resolution 2024-06, appropriating funds from VDOT street and highway reimbursement to the general fund. Would you like to tell them what?
I am going to relinquish my time to Manager Burchett.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, annually we budget for VDOT reimbursement funds. We had a pleasant surprise, the first quarter of our fiscal year, and that the amount that we received on a quarterly basis was higher than we had anticipated. We were reluctant to spend that money, not knowing if we would get additional money. The second quarter came in likewise, and so what we have in this particular resolution is an appropriation of those additional funds received in the 2 quarters, and we need to appropriate in order to spend it on those items that are reimbursable with the highway maintenance funds. So we will be bringing a similar resolution probably in the late spring to appropriate at a minimum the 3rd quarter, or if it holds true, we'll go ahead and appropriate for the last 2 quarters, and again, use that money for the various projects that are eligible under the highway funding.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-06 as written.
Second.
And may I have a roll call for that one, please?
Mr. East?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Mr. Dawson?
Aye.
Mr. Ratliff?
Aye.
Mr. Reese?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution 2024-07, amending the pay and classification plan. Would you like to do that one too?
Members of council, a recent review of our pay and classification plan identified the fact that the general superintendent, who actually supervises the superintendent of streets, water and sewer and general properties, needed to be regraded from a grade 19 to a
Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2024-07, amending the pay and classification plan, be adopted as written.
Second.
And may I have a roll call for that, please?
Mr. East?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Mr. Dawson?
Aye.
Mr. Ratliff?
Aye.
Mr. Reese?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-08, appropriating funds to the Town of Pulaski Economic Development Authority.
Council, previously, the council drew from the unappropriated fund balance some funds for economic development activities, part of which was used to fund the purchase of the 155 acres back in December. The remaining amount, $250,000, is being recommended for transfer to the recently renamed, rejuvenated, resurrected Economic Development Authority. And there are plans that I think you're familiar with to loan that money to a business in order to effect its expansion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-08 as written.
Second.
And a roll call for that, please.
Mr. East?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Mr. Dawson?
Aye.
Mr. Ratliff?
Aye.
Mr. Reese?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-09, amending the appointments to the Economic Development Authority for the Town of Pulaski, Virginia.
Yes, sir. Mr. Member, you may recall that at your last meeting, you adopted a resolution that appointed 5 members to the Economic Development Authority. The town attorney, in researching the state code, identified the need for us to initiate this process with staggered terms. And so we are altering the terms for the 3 that are indicated here, 2 with receiving a 3-year term and, 1 receiving a 3-year term and 2 receiving 2-year terms. No, 1-year terms.
Looks like one 1-year term and 2 3-year terms.
Yeah.
Because we had already previously had 2
No.
that had been altered to a staggered term.
Okay.
At your last meeting, you still have 2 vacancies.
Right.
And we are receiving some applications for those positions. And when those positions are filled, one would be given a 1-year term initially, the other a 4-year term. And then as all of those terms end, they would go to 4-year terms, but on a staggered basis.
Staggered, yep.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt Resolution 2024-09 as written.
And may I have a roll call for that, please?
Mr. Dawson, or Mr. East?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Mr. Dawson?
Aye.
Mr. Ratliff?
Aye.
Mr. Reese?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-10, opening a bank account with National Bank of Blacksburg for the Economic Development Authority for the Town of Pulaski, Virginia.
Council, we found out just yesterday from the bank when attempting to open a bank account in the name of the Economic Development Authority, as we had received the federal identification number, that they requested that the town council act upon a resolution authorizing the opening of that bank account. And so that's what this particular resolution is designed to do.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2024-10, resolution to open a bank account with National Bank of Blacksburg for the Economic Development Authority of the Town of Pulaski, Virginia, be adopted as written.
Okay, may I have a roll call for that, please, ma'am?
Mr. East?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Mr. Dawson?
Aye.
Mr. Ratliff?
Aye.
Mr. Reese?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-11, resolution appointing members to the New River Valley Agency on Aging Board of Directors. We have went over. So,
I think we can just move ahead. Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-11 as written.
Second.
and a roll call for that.
Mr. East?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Mr. Dawson?
Aye.
Mr. Ratliff?
Aye.
Mr. Reese?
Aye.
And same way with this one, Resolution 2024-12, resolution appointing Rachel Nelson to the Town of Pulaski, Virginia Planning Commission.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt Resolution 2024-12, resolution appointing Rachel Nelson to the Town of Pulaski, Virginia Planning Commission.
Second.
And a roll call for that, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Now we come to the public comment period. I have no speakers slips, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. For your consideration is January 16th, 2024 Town Council meeting minutes. If someone would like to make a motion, we accept those.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve town council meeting minutes for January 16th, 2024.
Second.
May I have a roll call for that, please?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
All right, move to council comments. Mr. East?
I would like to thank Ms. Burcham for her wonderful service to the town of Pulaski. We certainly owe our fiscal health, our outstanding staff, the condition of our town to you, and thank you. And under your guidance. So, and to Mr. Day, welcome. We're excited to have you here and look forward to great things going forward. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Clark?
Same thing Mr. East said. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you, Mr. Day, and we look forward to the future. And we appreciate all the staff that was here for all the awards and everything. We have a great staff here.
Mr. Dawson?
I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. That's a ditto for me. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Ratcliffe?
I thank Ms. Bertram for everything you did once again, and I want to welcome Mr. Day to the show. And I'm already hearing some good stuff about you. People adapt to you very well, and welcome aboard. I know you do a fine job. Look forward to working with you.
Forward to challenge.
I'll reiterate what everybody's reiterated without saying it again. But also, I know a lot of people have been excited to see Mr. Day. I've had a lot of questions, so I'm excited for him to actually get a chance to go out and meet people. And I hope that people feel like they can come talk to you. 'Cause the best way for him to get to know the town is if people come tell him what's going on. And speaking of the last presentation about asset management, I did happen to notice that there is a grate on 3rd Street, between right where that Courtview Lane is, just down from down just a little west of the library. It looks like it's about to fall apart. There's like a big hunk of concrete there. It just makes me worried that it's all gonna, I know we have problems with that. And there's another one on Jefferson, just around the corner between 3rd and 4th on the northbound lane that just, I guess I'm getting old because I just worry about people falling into things now. So it'd be much appreciated if that was taken a look at. But otherwise, thanks to all our staff members. Town doesn't run by itself. It runs with people. And we know we need to appreciate those folks that we have who have given so many years of service. Wouldn't be the same without them. Thank you.
I don't know if anyone said it yet, but Darlene, thank you for all you've done. We do appreciate everything you've done. You've left this town in good hands, and I know you left it in a perfect place for him to start. We appreciate everything you've done. It's not always been easy. It wasn't always what everyone wanted because people don't like change. But in the long run, I think our town is in better shape than we were, and we appreciate it. Mr. Day, thank you for stepping into this little area of crazy that we call home. I think that you'll enjoy it, and from what I've seen already, I think you're going to fit in. I mean, I'm not saying you're crazy or anything like that, but I'm just saying. And with his comment about people coming to talk to him, please give him a little bit of time, though. Let him get, because it's going to take a little bit. We've got a lot going on, but I know that he is ready to meet with people. He'll be ready to meet with people very soon and get to know the area. But thank you for coming on board.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here. And I'd like to echo, I said earlier, and I'd like to, while we're on record, I'm absolutely amazed, for lack of words. Usually when you have a town manager come in, there's a reason for it. To look at the finances of the town of Pulaski, and I've actually spent a lot of time trying to find what I'm missing. You know, there's got to be a catch there, but I've absolutely looked at about everything I can find just so I can have a little thunder. And I'm impressed. I mean, the town of Pulaski financially is very stable. The projects that's on the table have been budgeted and planned for, and I'm just, thank you, Darlene. Thank you very much. It's the first time in a transition that hey, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I don't know. I can't say much more than that. It's a good team. The locality. I look forward to the changes and to continue what's been going on. So, thank you very much.
All right, we will move to the manager's report. Who would like to do that? I mean, I know you just stepped in, so.
I don't have any at this time. I would be virtual.
To hear how Todd has spent his first 5 days. In fact, he asked me if there was a service award for 5 days. Because he has moved around a lot with staff as well as myself, and attended meetings and had an open door to people, and there are individuals who've come in unannounced to see him. So maybe, why don't you just kind of tell him how you've been spending your time, because I think it would be helpful, not just to the council, but to those who watch us on Facebook to understand how you have entered into the community and the job, and that you're
Absolutely.
house hunting, so everybody can be looking for a permanent home for you.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. Not the next hour and a half, by the way. So, it's been interesting. In any town, any town manager with any longevity or any experience in local government, the first thing they do, as I mentioned, is they're going to come in the door. They're going to look at finances, obviously. So, and again, I've spent some time doing that. I've toured. I've spent a little bit of time with the staff. It's amazing the camaraderie that you have in-house with the employees. I do have an open door policy that I'm encouraging myself to try to tweak just a little bit and give myself some time. So I have found that, my first week on the job, it's been kind of, I don't know if overwhelming is the right word or not, but there is a lot of projects on the table. And, when you come in and you start projects, it's easy to keep building on projects. But to come in, and the attorney and I were speaking before the meeting, to come into a locality where you have a number of projects already in place, and you're jumping in the middle, trying to figure out where First Street is and Main Street is, and so it's not uncommon to that level. But again, I've met a lot of people. I've been to Richmond already and back, and had the opportunity to shake hands and meet a lot of people I know will play a part in my future. So I'm anxious to fall in and get wet and see how many of my employees throw me a life raft. But I'm excited about it. I really am excited about it. And I learned long ago, you can't do it all when you come in. You'll have a big box, and odds of getting to that box are slim. Projects just come to you. So I'm not concerned about it. I've got a great staff, and I've already delegated projects to engineering, and there's a few more I have that I'm going to delegate out, and we're going to take care of it and close some doors and open up some new ones. So I'm really excited about it.
You want to say anything, or? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, sir. All right. Well, with that, just a reminder of our future council meeting. It's February 20th, 2024, closed session at 5:30. Open session begins at 7. As I have nothing else on this agenda, I declare this meeting adjourned.